Looking back on last season, obviously ending the year world number 2, reflecting on it, were you happy with how things went last year?
I was beyond happy, and actually, obviously, if you say would I have picked to be world number 1 by the end of last season or world number 2, emotionally I would have said world number 1, of course. But logically, I think it was better for me to end it as world number 2, because I don't think I would be ready for now to be world number 1. I had to take it step by step, and I had to lose a lot along the way and get a lot of things out of it. But obviously, winning my first World Series title alongside Nour, and reaching a lot of finals back to back, and being consistently the second player on tour after Muhammad, who's had an amazing season as well, I think it was a great season for me. And obviously next season my goal is to be world number 1 and hopefully win the world championships. I know it might not happen, I know it might take a lot of time, but I'll work really hard for it. I'm not going to stop until I'm either too old or I've reached that goal.
What do you have to do from where you finished last season to this season to get to number 1? What do you think you have to improve? What have you had to add to your game?
Well, it's all about marginal things. You know, all of the top players now, from 1 all the way to 50, they can all do all the shots, execute all the shots perfectly. They can all move really well. It's just about putting them all together, and I'm really glad to have the right team around me of Kareem and Nour and Wael, my brother, and I've also gone to those little niggles in my body. I've gone to see Derek Ryan in Ireland, and thankfully now I'm feeling okay to just be firing every day. And actually, it's not only about, I shouldn't be only focusing on Muhammad, because obviously everyone behind me as well is top class, and people think, oh, you're one step ahead. No, but you also have to be consistently better than the people lower ranked, and they're all, you name them, they're all so good. So I have to focus on that and be consistently the better player than the lower ranked players, and also try to be more consistent than Muhammad if I can. I think I've had a good summer training. I've had almost 7-8 weeks now, and I've got 2 or 3 more before Alexandria, which is really where you get all the match fitness back up and play a lot of. I play with Tarek Momen, Abul Ghar, and all of these guys, and I think this is going to get me ready, hopefully, for the season.
Last year for you, bit of a breakthrough, first World Series and then second World Series title, up at number 3 in the rankings. When you reflect on your season last year, is it all fond memories? Are you happy with everything you achieved?
Yeah, of course I'm very happy with how it went. At the beginning of last season, I wouldn't have imagined or believed I would have won a World Series or finished the year as number 3 in the world. But for it to all happen, it's nice to have an off season of 3 months for it to all sink in, and then I can work hard again to set new goals. This season has given me a lot of confidence, especially after the season before, which was right after my surgery. So it has given me a lot of confidence that I now can make it. I can now win matches, back-up matches, and it's something that I'll always have in my mind, and it will help me come back from a tough loss or if I'm down in a match. I think it's the confidence part that the last season has given me is very crucial. It's a very nice feeling to win match after match, back-up matches. My goal is always to dominate, and last season I did it for a week too. The 2 tournaments I won, so I dominated in a way for 2 weeks, and this is actually has always been my dream, and hopefully I can do that this season. I think my goal going into every tournament has changed from last season. Now my goal is to win every tournament, and first tournament, last tournament, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I think I just want to win them as much as I can.
Looking back at especially New York, Sweden, where I had a different mindset when I went into tournaments, and I think that made the biggest difference, because as I said, I always was working hard for my successes, and I was always giving my best on court, off court, and I think that was just the small tick that made in my head or my mindset that changed the whole bit of approach to the tournaments. And the only thing that actually prevented me of getting further in these tournaments was usually the respect of the top guys, and maybe I was a bit scared of winning at that kind of stages. When I got to the quarters, I wasn't quite, because I never got to the semi-final stages before Qatar. As I said, after New York several times, I was always it was always coming down to the mental side of things, And once I won that match against Marwan in Qatar, I think that changed my mindset quite a bit, and I believed in my squash more, and I believed in my abilities more, and I think that made the biggest difference. And only these, it was always like maybe only like half or 1%, but that can already like be the game changer really. So yeah, I think that Qatar victory changed a lot within the season, and once I won the title in New York as well. Yeah, you come to tournaments and you're there with some more confidence, and you believe more in yourself and in what you can and what you can't. When I was a kid, when I thought about like getting to top 10, that was like the absolute dream thought back in the day. And then once I got to top 10, I was like, oh well, now you can actually keep pushing further up. And then I got to 6, and then now I got to 5, and obviously now my next goal would be getting to the top 4. You need, even if it's just one spot, but getting there, that there's a lot of effort that you have to make, and there's a lot of tournaments that you actually regularly, on a regular basis, you have to get to the semi-final stages, final stages. So it's not gonna get any easier, that's for sure. But yeah, next goal for this season or for the coming season would definitely be the top 4 spot.
You're coming into this year probably off the best season of your career, top 4 in the world, 2 major finals. Reflecting on last year, happy with what happened?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't expect it to happen. I mean, I've always been working hard. I've always been putting in 100% of my effort, and to see everything, you know, coming together and materializing last season, you know, it clicked. You know, I could feel things are falling in the right place, and so now I'm going into next season with new targets. You know, I know, I mean, I could feel it in my summer training this year that I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to achieve. You know, the previous years I was like, I felt like I was going in a loop, you know, endless loop, doing the same things and getting the same results every year. But last year was different, and it gave me a lot of motivation to go into next season. And you know, now I have one target. I want to reach the top now. I mean, I've always been taking it baby steps. I've always wanted to break into the top 10, and then into the top 5, and then into the top 4. And now that I've achieved this, I can only hope for one thing, and it's to make it to the world number 1. That's my new target now. I want to be the best player I can be, and the best player in the world. So I'm gonna work really hard for it, and hopefully this season would give me the results I want. If you wanna be the best player in the world, you're always gonna have tough competition. You're always gonna have to go through a lot of pain. These guys are really hard to beat, but we all want the same thing, and only one of us can get it. So what I can do is just give it my absolute best, my 100%. Fight for every tournament, for every match, and if I'm in the right mental zone, I know I have the chances to make it, and that's what I can rely on. I need to fight and believe in myself that I can beat anyone on a good day. That's it.